In 2005, Yves Chauvin, Robert H. Grubbs, and Richard R. Schrock shared the Nobel Prize in Chemistry for their work regarding the development of the metathesis method in organic synthesis. Metathesis is a word borrowed from the Greek language. Its common meaning is changing, and in the case of chemistry, it refers to the rearrangement of the molecular fragments. This reaction was discovered during the oligomerization of ethylene in the 1950s. Not surprisingly, it has been utilized in the synthesis of polymers by various methods. One of those polymerization methods is ring-opening metathesis polymerization, ROMP, a term first used by Tim Swager when he was a graduate student in R.H. Grubbs's laboratory at the California Institute of Technology, Caltech. ROMP is a special type of polymerization where the unsaturated ring of a cyclic olefin opens and the number of unsaturated bonds is retained in the polymer backbone. This is contradictory with the classic polymerization of alkenes, where the main chain consists of single carbon-carbon bonds. The driving force for ROMP is the ring strain of the cyclic monomer, but a metal initiator catalyst is required for the polymerization to occur. Olefin metathesis. Olefin metathesis is a metal-catalyzed transformation that acts on carbon-carbon double bonds and rearranges them via cleavage and reassembly. This type of reaction is relatively simple, and it often creates fewer undesired byproducts and hazardous wastes than alternative organic reactions. Most of the olefin metathesis reactions are transition metal alkylidin catalyzed reactions. These constitute a facile and efficient strategy for approaching alkene precursors for the synthesis of various synthetic and natural products through olefin metathesis reactions. Such reaction routes have emerged in due time in different effortful research studies in different industries and academia. Olefin metathesis is one of the very few fundamentally novel organic reactions that open up new industrial routes to important petrochemicals, polymers, oleochemicals, and specialty chemicals applicable for different purposes. This type of reaction is now being used in drug discovery for the synthesis of anti-cancer and other antibiotic organic compounds. Scientists discovered a novel drug for the relief of breast cancer through metathesis reactions using 1,1-diallyl ferrocene as a starting material through ring-closing metathesis and other consecutive reactions in the presence of Grubbs catalysts. Development of metathesis catalysts and improving different metathesis reactions for the synthesis of useful polymers and novel materials have been of interest to many researchers. In fact, the availability of various metathesis catalysts together with research efforts focused on the development of more active complexes helps to improve the economical outcome of industrial processes, including those in the pharmaceutical industry. Grubbs catalysts are a series of transition metal carbene complexes used as catalysts for olefin metathesis. They are named after Robert H. Grubbs, the chemist who supervised their synthesis. Several generations of the catalyst have also been developed. The first well-defined ruthenium catalyst was reported in 1992. It was prepared from ruthenium dichlorodiphospheine and diphenyl cyclopropene. This initial ruthenium catalyst was followed in 1995 by what is now known as the first-generation Grubbs catalyst. It is synthesized from ruthenium dichlorodiphospheine, phenyldiazomethane, and tricyclohexylphosphine in a one-pot synthesis. The second-generation catalyst has the same uses in organic synthesis as the first-generation catalyst, but generally with higher activity. The second-generation catalyst based on a saturated N-heterocyclic carbene was reported in 1999. The third-generation catalyst is known as Hoveyda-Grubbs catalysts. The Hoveyda-Grubbs catalysts, while more expensive and slower to initiate than the Grubbs catalyst from which they are derived, are popular because of their improved stability. Hoveda-Grubbs catalysts are easily formed from the corresponding Grubbs catalyst by the addition of the chelating ligand and the use of a phosphine scavenger like copper-1 chloride. On the other hand, a metal-alkylidene catalyst-free metathesis reaction for the construction of the CC double bond is now gaining attention and interest in many organic laboratories. Scientists synthesized tetrasubstituted quinolinones using diazo compounds and para-quinonemathides via metathesis reactions using titanium tetrachloride as the Lewis acid and dichloromethane as a solvent. General reaction mechanism of transition: metal-alkylidene olefin metathesis. Although the olefin metathesis reaction was discovered in the mid-1950s, its accepted mechanism was proposed by Chauvin and Harrison in 1971, which indicated that the reaction is catalyzed by metal carbenes. According to this mechanism, the coordination of an olefin to a metal carbene catalytic species leads to the reversible formation of a metallocyclobutane intermediate. The metallocyclobutane can eliminate an olefin from either side of the ring, leading to degenerate metathesis, in which the starting olefin and carbene are reformed, non-productive path, or productive metathesis, in which new olefins and carbenes are produced. As the catalytic cycle continues, an equilibrium mixture of olefins is produced, and the ultimate product ratio is determined by thermodynamic parameters. For instance, if one of the olefins is volatile, it can be removed from the system to drive the equilibrium towards the desired products. There are two major approaches that are commonly employed to drive the reaction towards the desired products. One tactic is to rely on Le Chatelier's principle by continuously removing one of the products from the reaction system in order to shift the equilibrium in favor of the other product. This method is especially effective in the case of cross-metathesis (CM) reactions involving terminal olefins, ring-closing metathesis (IRCM), and acyclic DNA metathesis polymerization (ADMET), because the volatile gas byproduct like ethene and propene formed in these processes can be easily removed. The other approach capitalizes on the ring strain of cyclic olefins, such as cyclooctenes and norbornenes. The energy released during the ring-opening reaction of these compounds is sufficient to drive reactions such as ring-opening cross-metathesis, ROCM, and ring-opening metathesis polymerization, ROMP, forward. In some instances, substrate concentration, which often distinguishes ADMET from RCM, or the catalyst's sensitivity to olefin substitution, can also be taken advantage of to influence product selectivity. All of these methods are currently successfully employed in the synthesis of a large variety of small, medium, and polymeric molecules, as well as novel materials. Since all of these processes are fully reversible, only statistical mixtures of starting materials, as well as all of the possible rearrangement products, are produced in the absence of thermodynamic driving forces. During the olefin metathesis reactions, many side reactions may appear like isomerization, especially double bond shift reactions, alkylation, cyclization, and addition across the double bond are challenging problems. These problems are mostly created due to the residual ruthenium catalyst and can generally be avoided by proper choice of solvent, as well as other purification techniques. For example, diethyl ether can leach ruthenium in a reaction with highly polar substrates like alcohols and acids. On the other hand, the catalyst can be removed by SiO2 and DMSO at room temperature for 12 hours. Ring-opening metathesis polymerization. Ring-opening metathesis polymerization is a process of one or more cyclic olefins transformation to polymer, catalyzed by metal carbene compounds. Indeed, the number of double bonds both in polymer and in monomer is equal. The driving force behind the ROMP reaction of cyclic olefins is reliant on the release of ring strain energy, which compensates for the loss in entropy upon polymerization. Typically, ROMP is a thermodynamically favored process for cyclic olefins that have lower ring strain energy by which equilibrium will be formed between the monomers and polymers. To overcome this problem, the position of the equilibrium can be shifted to the ring-opened polymer via two approaches. One involves lowering the temperature, and the second involves increasing the monomer concentration. ROMP reaction mechanism. During ROMP, the initiation step involves the coordination of a cyclic olefin to a metal alkylidin complex. Subsequent 2+2 cycloaddition produces a metallocyclobutane intermediate to form a growing polymer chain. The intermediate undergoes cycloreversion to afford a new metal alkylidine. Analogous steps are repeated during the propagation stage until polymerization ceases. That is, the monomer is completely consumed, and the reaction reaches equilibrium or the reaction is terminated. ROMP is commonly quenched by the addition of ethylvinyl ether, which reacts with the metal carbene species of a growing polymer chain end and removes the metal from the polymer. Omitting this procedure leads to degradation of the polymer product and causes metal residue contamination in the isolated material. ROMP is commonly accompanied by intermolecular and intramolecular chain transfer reactions. In the intermolecular chain transfer, a polymer chain having an active metal alkylidin on its terminus reacts with a double bond in another polymer chain. The individual polymer chains increase or decrease in molecular weight accordingly, keeping the total number of polymer chains unchanged. In the intramolecular chain transfer reaction, backbiting, the carbene terminus of a polymer chain reacts with itself to form a polymer chain with reduced molecular weight and release a cyclic oligomer. Intermolecular and intramolecular chain transfers both increase the polydispersity of the polymer product. Strained cyclic olefins having no bulky groups around the double bonds are used as ROMP monomers. Over the past several decades, ring-opening metathesis polymerization, ROMP, has become an effective method for the preparation of a wide range of linear polymers due to the development of well-defined ruthenium alkylidin metathesis complexes developed by Grubbs and co-workers, having high functional group tolerance and robustness. The most commonly studied monomers in ROMP are highly strained bicyclic olefins such as norbornene and its derivatives. In contrast, monocyclic olefins with 5, 6, and 7-membered rings have a lower ring strain energy, where bond angles are significantly less strained. Because of this, it is very difficult to undergo ring-opening metathesis polymerization reaction with these olefins. But currently, researchers proved that the ring strain of a molecule can be manipulated if the ring structure is made up of a molecular photoswitch. Among various photoswitch molecules, 1-1-indanylidininidin, commonly known as stiff stilbene, is the one. Scientists reported that photo-induced strain-assisted ROMP synthesis of main-chain stiff stilbene polymers by activating the macrocyclic pi bond connected to stiff stilbene photoswitch through photoisomerization. ROMP is also used in manufacturing industries for the production of different polymers and copolymers. It has also been widely used for synthesizing molecular bottle brushes, which are applicable as nanowires, elastomers, lubrication, anti-fouling, and other purposes.